I went to the danger zone. Hello everyone and welcome back to IMO Reviews. Today we are discussing Top Gun Maverick, directed by Joseph Kosinski and starring Tom Cruise, Miles Teller, Jennifer Connelly and John Hamm. Top Gun Maverick is a sequel to the 80s movie Top Gun, and Tom Cruise returns as Pete Maverick Mitchell. This time he must teach a team of fighter pilots to pull off an impossible mission. Before we go any further though, could you be a dear and hit that like button and the subscribe button if you haven't already, and please give us a follow on Instagram. There is a link in the description below. Not only can you send me a message and say hello, but you'll be getting access to further content, polls, tournaments, and you even get to have a say in what I review. And of course, we thank you if you do. So diving straight into the pros of Top Gun Maverick, I thought Tom Cruise was absolutely outstanding in this movie. To be honest, I thought the whole cast was outstanding in this movie. But if we're going to focus on Tom Cruise, he absolutely proves himself to still be at the top of his game here. And I get that not everybody likes this guy. I really do understand that maybe he's a little bit too weird and out of the wheelhouse for some people. But personally, I quite like him. I find the guy strangely inspiring. The way that he can throw complete and utter caution to the wind and just go out there and do these absolutely insane stunts. There aren't many actors these days who are willing to go the extra mile and put that much commitment into their craft like Tom Cruise does. They're very happy to call in a stuntman. Whereas Tom Cruise not only does the damn thing, but he'll try and top the last thing he did with something even crazier. I'm just really grateful that he's willing to do that for my entertainment. And Top Gun Maverick is no exception to the rule. What I really enjoyed about this though is that I felt he really got to act as well. Sometimes Tom Cruise in his movies, he's just being Tom Cruise so that he can then go and do these stunts, and that's really what he wants to do. Whereas here he felt like he had to be a character, he had to do some acting, he had to bring Pete Maverick Mitchell to life, and I personally feel he really did. And I can't talk about it too heavily because I don't want to get into the spoilers of the movie, but I thought the evolution of his character was superbly done as well. It never went out of its way to betray the original movie, it only ever evolved from where it was left off. And mentioning the other performances, everyone really is bringing their A game here. John Hamm was excellent in the movie. Ed Harris is also in the movie for a very small period, and he's also excellent for the time being that you get him. I also thought Jennifer Connelly was great in the movie. She sometimes feels a little bit forgotten about and as if she's not really got anything to do, but I'm personally grateful that she was in the movie. She offered a great opportunity of escape for Tom Cruise's character, and Miles Teller also bounced very nicely off of Tom Cruise and the other cast members around him. The real star of the show is the planes. It's not only impressive, it's immersive. I felt like I was in the cockpit. I felt like I was being thrusted off into the air at 500 miles per hour. I felt like I was running out of oxygen. I felt like I was being thrown around in my seat. I felt my stomach turning from all of the flips and barrel rolls and all sorts. It was insanely good fun. I can look at some of those shots, maneuvers and fights for hours on end. It was just glorious. Even the sound design, just stunning, hearing the jets fire up and whiz past from one end of the screen to the other. The biggest compliment I can give this movie is that it genuinely gave me the buzz of wanting to learn how to fly a plane. I was sat in the cinema thinking, I've got to experience this at some point in my life. This is incredible. I really did struggle to find a flaw with this movie, and that was not at all what I was expecting, because personally I think the original is just fine. It's not incredible, it's not terrible, it's just sort of okay. I personally was blown away by how much volleyball was in the movie. I wasn't expecting that. So for this to be not only impressive, but arguably better than the first one, bravo. But if I did have any flaws for the movie, it would be that it is probably 20 minutes too long. It kind of felt like it reached its conclusion, a fairly satisfactory conclusion, and then it just sort of kept going a bit further. And at that point you do maybe want to check your watch and go, oh, come on, we've got other things to do today. But even then, I'm glad that they did stick around and do more, because rather than settle for a satisfactory ending, they decided to go further, keep digging and give the audience a great ending. They actually made sure that the message hit home, and they actually made sure that their characters genuinely met a satisfactory conclusion and finish to their story arcs. If it means sticking around for 20 minutes to make it even better than it was, then I'm all for it. It shows that they cared. I like the characters and their dynamics. I like the evolution of the Maverick character and how things have changed around him. And I really like that it didn't repeat the first one. I mean, it borrows bits and pieces, of course it does. It's a sequel nearly 30 years after the fact. But I would say that it doesn't copy, it echoes the original. And I thought that was so much more impactful, having these very, very distant reminders of something that happened 30 years ago to where it is now. That just hit me in the feels so much harder because it made me feel the amount of time that has passed and the amount of time that these characters have lost and are not going to get back. And it amplifies how long these characters have been carrying around their particular baggage. I really, really loved the way they delivered that. I loved this movie. I was exhilarated. I laughed. I panicked. And I even got a little bit foggy-eyed in a particular scene, which I won't spoil. But my God, was it perfectly handled. This movie gave me everything I could have hoped for and more. And I can't find a reason not to give Top Gun Maverick a 10 out of 10. I would very highly recommend this movie to pretty much all of you. I suppose if you don't like the original Top Gun, maybe this one isn't going to work for you. But even then, the stunts, the flight maneuvers, all of that stuff is so mind-bendingly impressive that I still kind of feel like you should probably give it a chance. This really is the definition of having an experience in the cinema. Thank you for watching this review. Please be sure to hit that like button and the subscribe button if you haven't already, and please be sure to hit the comment section as well. Have you seen Top Gun Maverick? Have you seen the original? Which is your favorite of the two? Let me know in the comment section below. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you on the next review.